Hey champ, Chris Atkinson here. Just want to take a few minutes with you and do what we call our Jumpstart training. You're also going to find all of these videos on each topic I'm about to speak to you about broken down into even further detail, so make sure that you plug into those. I just want to give you a quick overview. This is what we know will help bring success to you and your family. Step number one, you got to make a list. You just have to. I know some of you think that's so old school. Okay, trust me on this. Pull out your phone and start to write those names and numbers down on a sheet of paper. If you have a written list, you now have an inventory, so to speak. And this is going to help you see success. Once you have that list, and by the way, I really don't care how big it is. I know how many people you know because the average 18-year-old knows 2,043 people. So let's write down more than 4 names. Okay? But you don't have to write 400 yet, just whatever you can come up with in the next 10 or 15 minutes. Because then step 2 is we want to invite someone to then take a look. I want to help you understand. You're not inviting them to hear the presentation from you. You want to invite someone today to look tomorrow. Okay? So here's the invitation. How many of you went to 2nd grade? Yeah? So when I was in 2nd grade, I remember getting little Johnny's birthday invitation. His mom wrote them all out, brought them to class, and had Johnny pass them all out, or maybe even had the teacher pass them out on Johnny's behalf. Here's what the invitation said. Saturday, April 3rd is Johnny's birthday. Here's the time, here's the address. See you there. That was the invitation. They didn't tell us what flavor Kool-Aids were going to be there, if it was hot dogs and hamburgers. Didn't say anything about Bozo the Clown. It was very short and to the point. But then on Saturday we went to the presentation, right? The party. It's the same concept here. You're inviting someone today to take a look later on. Maybe it's in an hour, maybe it's a couple of days later. So make sure you keep the invitation separate from the presentation. Now, once the presentation happens, however it does, maybe it's a company Zoom, maybe you sent the video from the app, maybe you sat one-on-one with someone, maybe you had a home party, but as soon as the presentation's over, it's time for the next step. You gotta ask for a decision. Don't ask things like, well, what'd you think? Don't ever ask that. Just simply ask, which pack would you like to enroll with? Ask for a decision. They're going to respect you a whole lot more than that. Now, sometimes they'll say things like this. Well, I'd like the bonus pack. Well, then stop talking and get them enrolled. Sometimes they'll say, well, I don't really know because I had a couple of questions. Oh my gosh, I knew you would, because most smart people do. Hey, listen, I probably know the answers, but why don't we make sure you get the proper and real answers? Would you mind if I called my friend? This is that 3-way call, that 3-way validation. Now listen, before the presentation started, you already sent a text to your upline and said, I may be calling you in about 15 minutes, just seeing if you'll be available. They'll respond with yes, or can you give me an extra 5 minutes? Something like that, so you know it's set up. So now when that presentation's over, you ask for that decision, and they might have had questions. You're simply going to call your upline and have them speak to your guest for a few minutes. That's going to show them that it's not just you that's there to help. They have a team of people already designed, set in place to help them see the success. The final thing that expert third-party validation individual is going to say on your behalf is how lucky they are to get the opportunity to work with you. Once that call's over, simply ask again, which pack do you want to get started with? And then get them enrolled. Now, after you get them enrolled, guess what you do next? You go repeat. You go back to your written list to see who the next one is to invite. But also, the individual you just enrolled, you're instantly going to ask them to start to work on their list so that they can then learn the invitation. Do you see how that all starts to fall in place? And it gives you that magical thing that we all look for in life called duplication. Without duplication, you'll never have a business. But what do you need to do today to make all of this work for you? You got to have a why. Why are you doing this? What is it that you saw when you first got started? What did you think? What did you start to think about and dream about? It's an array of different things, and it's different for all people. When I first started network marketing, my initial goal was a soccer ball. I know it sounds silly. You can get a soccer ball at Walmart for $20. Yeah, I didn't have that. So that was my initial goal. But there was a reason behind it, and that's what made it powerful. You see, my son was 14, 15 years old, playing on multiple soccer teams, and, well, I didn't have a soccer ball for him to practice with. So that was my initial goal. And I'll never forget, 1 week later when I bought that soccer ball and picked him up from school, I'll never forget that excitement. We couldn't get home fast enough to start kicking that ball around in the backyard. And then things changed. My goals got bigger, right? I mean, it changed to a Corvette. I've owned 5 since. But if it didn't start with that soccer ball, something that was obtainable right now, that had a passion, a meaning, and a feeling back behind it, that's what you need to find this moment, this very instant. No telling what it is, but I think you already know. So find that why. That's going to give you your purpose. Hey, please continue to watch all the videos, because we're going to help break this down for you step by step by step. Hey, you know what? You already know there's only one place I want to see you, and that's at the top. God bless each and every single one of you, champions.